Where does Mike Smith come into the picture for you, though?
Mike Smith. So Mike Smith was one of those guys who, like I mentioned, I would skate with. It'd be like a one-on-two with John. Mike Smith was a guy that I started skating with at a fairly young age. I had to get to a certain level before I was allowed on the ice with him, because he's a little bit older than me, and he was always kind of the guy that at John's camps, you'd have like an ice session in the morning, and then like a dry land session, and lunch. And at lunch at his camps, that's when he would skate with his pro guys. And so Mike Smith was the big guy at the time, and I just remember, eating my lunch kind of as quickly as I could so I can get out into the stands and watch Mike Smith go to work at practice. And eventually, I studied him every time I was up in those stands, and eventually I got on the ice with him. And especially toward the end of his career and the start of mine, we were skating together pretty much every summer and training together a lot as well. And he's a guy that I got to watch a lot and just watch kind of how he operates and the shape that he kept himself in. Like his last year he was 40, I believe, right, when playing in the league, and like shredded as ever, always in like unbelievable shape, super strong, super fast, freak athlete, and just a guy that kind of paved the way for me, showed me kind of what it takes to be a pro.
One of my personal favorites as well.
Mike Smith, yeah.
Yeah, dude, so flashy, good style, the
Yeah.
big glove saves, great masks.
Yeah.
Big playoff performer too. I know a lot of people disagree with me. I always found that when it came to playoffs with the Coyotes or even with the Oilers, like you needed a big save, Mike Smith gave it to you. Yeah. But when you're trying to shovel in your lunch to try to go watch him, what age is this roughly?
When I was watching him at lunchtime, that was probably when I was like between 13 and 15, I would say.
And you're just glued to the ice watching him.
Yeah. No, I would, I think they'd be on for like an hour, 15 minutes, and I would push it right to the very end before I needed time, because we would go on when he was done with the rest of the camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember I would like push it right to the very last second before I started to get dressed so I could watch him. And there were some other guys too, but he was the one that kind of stood out. He was definitely the best one and the biggest name, and he was always very kind with his time when we were young kids as well. The way he would come over and say hi and sign autographs and whatever the case may be. I think at that time, taking pictures was not much of a thing, if I'm remembering correctly, because I don't remember ever getting a picture with him at that age. But I remember he signed something for me, and I just remembered my biggest thought watching him was, man, I got a long way to go. Like, this guy's super good, and I am not super good, and I got a long way to go. So he was a big inspiration for me.
Was there something that stood out where you're seeing this and you're thinking, wow, he is so elite at this, I got a ways to go?
Just his, he had great hands. Like he would play super deep and get away with it because his hands were so good. And his puck handling too. He would do some puck handling drills, and he was probably one of the best in history at puck handling. And when I would watch him, like I remember he would shoot pucks down the ice. Like Johnny, we still do this drill now where it's like a rim drill where you got to look at Johnny and he'll tell you where he wants you to put it, like whether it's a rim or a pass, or like at the end he always gives you one in the glove and you try to score a goal. And I remember watching Mike Smith do that, and he was like in the air putting it like in the top half of the net. And I was like, whoa, like that is crazy. I didn't even think that was possible at that age. And so, yeah, he helped me a lot with puck handling. A lot of the puck handling drills that we would do. I was always a pretty dog shit puck handler for a long time early on in my career, especially like in junior. I would just get the puck and be like Bambi back there, like deer in the headlights. And both Mike Smith and actually Marty Turco, I spent a little time with in the Sioux too, and those guys were huge for me and helping to improve my puck handling to where I can get the job done now. I'm not going to be Igor Shesterkin throwing saucers to the far blue, but I just keep it simple, but I can definitely get the job done now, and that's credit to to Mike Smith, John Elkin, and Marty Turco helped me a lot too.
There's a video a couple of years ago, like more towards the end of Mike's career, where for like morning skate, he'd be stopping pucks behind the net and then firing them up to try and hit the Jumbotron. And I don't know if this was like a regular thing or just a one-off, but I remember like every time he'd just glove it, throw it down, hit the Jumbotron, glove it, throw it down, hit the Jumbotron. And the strength and the skill to be able to hit that shot, I mean, like, you know how high the Jumbotrons are. They're super high up.
Yeah.
And this guy's just launching bombs.
Yeah.
So talented.
Yeah, I'd never seen a guy who could shoot the puck like him as a goalie. He could sling it like I said, all the way down the ice and hit the top half of the net, which was pretty crazy.
Do you know what he's doing nowadays?
I don't know. I know he's a guy. He likes to stay busy, so I'm sure he's doing a lot. He's got 4 young kids too, so I'm sure they're keeping him busy. And probably, I think like most guys when they retire, is they start taking the dad role pretty seriously and getting involved in the kid stuff. So I would imagine, I haven't talked to him in a long time. And that reminds me, I'll probably reach out to him here soon. So thank you for reminding me to do that.
No problem.
But yeah, I would imagine he's enjoying the family life and just really getting involved in the whole dad thing.
You want to talk a little bit about that mullet for a second?
About my hair?
Your mullet 2012, dude.
We don't need to talk about that.
I might throw some pictures up on the video version if I can find them.
Oh my God, yeah.
Man, that's some salad right there.
Yeah, that was the thing back then, was the flow, they used to call it. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was a pretty funny looking kid, but still am still am a little bit. But yeah, I don't know what I was thinking with that. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I think as a defenseman, it looks good when you're cruising down the wing and you got the flow kind
of
like
it's flowing out the back. Yeah,
the flow flowing. But as a goalie, you're not really getting that kind of momentum. And
yeah.
Unless you're Trevor Kidd and a la 1998 with the Hurricanes.
Right. Yeah, you could be right.
There's not many guys that can pull that off. Although Smitty had some really, really good. He had a mullet actually towards the end of his career.
Yeah, Smitty had some long hair at times, but he had like that long kind of curly hair, which was great. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I was young, and I don't know what I was thinking with that.
I liked it. I can't talk. I had a mullet down to here like 2 years.
Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. We do a new podcast every single Sunday during the season called Sling the Biscuit. It is a non-mainstream hockey podcast, so we talk about my hockey career, the minor pros, Spain, the Fed, you name it, all the stuff that you won't hear in the mainstream news.
Music,
pop culture,
politics, a little bit.
Some politics. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you soon.